Hello and welcome back to the channel. I recently reported on the fact that Whole Foods is shutting down in 6 locations nationwide. One of them is right smack dab in the black community, Englewood, as a matter of fact. And so I wanted to give some reasons why Amazon is closing the Englewood location after less than 6 years. Amazon bought out Whole Foods, and so this is why the decision was made by Amazon to close these locations. There were some very valid reasons, and I do believe, I can't remember for sure, but I think I did mention that one of the possible reasons was the price of the food, and a lot of people can't afford those high prices. And when you put a store such as Whole Foods in a community that is majority black, or should I say not maybe majority black, but with a large black population, you are not going to get the kind of support to keep the business afloat, because a lot of poor people simply cannot afford to buy food from Whole Foods. I mean, it just is what it is, right? But the thing that kind of got me about this whole story is the fact that the city actually gave Whole Foods, Amazon, $11 million. So it sounded like they gave them an incentive. And the viewer that shared the update with me basically said that it was a 6-year experiment in the black community. And so a lot of people are disappointed that they decided to yank the store. But as I stated in a previous video, in business, they are going to follow the money. If they feel like they are not making enough money in a certain community, they're not going to stay. And so that's essentially what has happened here. They decided to close their doors, I believe, because they were not keeping up with what they're putting into it. They weren't getting that out of it. In my opinion, though, because of how rich this company is, I kind of think they should give that $11 million back to the city. But that ain't none of my business, so I'm just going to leave it right there. But 6 years, you got 11 million. You stayed for a while and then you decided, you know what? We ain't producing enough money here, so we've got to go. I mean, that's how it is in business. You can't stay in business if your overhead and your expenses are higher than what you're bringing in, or if it's not enough to justify staying there. This is why a lot of mom and pop operations were forced out of business, because they have bigger companies that come in, offer lower prices, offer more jobs to the community, and then what ends up happening is the mom and pop can no longer compete, because they can't buy in bulk at the discount rates that big box stores are able to do this. So this is what is happening. But in this case, we have a big box store that moved in, a nationwide chain that moved in. They did their little experiment. Now they are gone. But as some of the people said, they were kind of optimistic. They said, well, we haven't changed. I mean, we're still the same community with or without Whole Foods, right? And so basically they're saying that they're not going to make or break our situation. Our situation was already the way it is, and Whole Foods didn't add anything good to it, right? Now, I can't really say that for sure, because that's what one of the people in the community said. But healthier food is always better, right? But it goes back to what I said in a previous video. I do believe that the black community needs to make a greater and better effort towards its own food security. I don't believe that it's healthy for us to continue to look outside of us to supply every need, especially as relates to food, because we are without excuse. There are just too many vacant lots in black communities, too many churches, just too much of that for us not to be able to use some of that space to grow food. Others have done it, and so can we. When I say others, I'm talking about other black people. We don't need to continue to talk about what others are not doing for us if we are not trying to do for ourselves. We just don't need to do that. And so when a business closes in the black community, look at that as an opportunity. Look at it as an opportunity. So imagine if these black people decided, you know what, we're going to start growing our own food. A lot of it, right? Now, I know that doesn't take care of the winter season, but if you did that for the seasons that you could do it, that would literally cut a lot of your grocery bills in half. It can be done. And I already shared a story where a black pastor is already doing it. So we are without excuse. Now, I understand that some are sad to see the store go, because there are those in the black community who do want to eat healthy, contrary to popular belief. Some of us do want to eat healthy. Some of us do want to grow our own food. Some of us don't want to be dependent, you see. And for those, I feel really sad that they are losing this store. We don't have any near us, you know. We don't have any near us, so many of us have chosen, we have chosen to grow our own food. My brother and his wife, they've chosen to grow their own food, and we know a few others as well. And I think more and more people are catching on to the fact that it's not as difficult as you think. So for those who would just rather boo-hoo about the closures of stores and things of that nature, let that go. It is time for us to stand on our own 2 feet and stop looking outside of us to take care of the needs within the black community. In the last video I did about food deserts, there was actually some in the comment section who said it's the white man's fault that some black communities are food deserts. And another person asked them, how is it their fault? And I agree with them. How is it their fault? Are you saying that they're responsible for feeding us? We have got to get rid of this ridiculous mindset that people outside of us are responsible for taking care of our needs. I'm sorry, family, but that we can't keep thinking like that. As a community of people, we cannot continue to think like that. It's not their job. It is our job. I'm done with this video, y'all. I love y'all. In the comment section below, share your thoughts. Remember to keep it tight and keep it right. But until next time, I'm out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.